I want to ask you something, Amanda, because there's something you said on stage, and I'm thick, so I don't understand it. What's the difference between men's rugby league and women's rugby league?
Well, I think the obvious, but...
Well, apart from that, I mean, I'm not that stupid, I promise.
Yeah, I think for myself, like at the moment I'm currently coaching because I'm fully employed at UCLan, the University of Central Lancashire, so I'm coaching a men's team, and then obviously at Barrow in Super League, so I get on a weekly basis, and especially from like December, January, February, March, there's a crossover because they're both playing and training, so you do see the difference because I have to plan for both of them to play. You know, the men's team is playing in the top level at UCLan, so it's a really competitive league, and then obviously women are as well, so it's performance coaching, and they're just different. And you know, like, it's the obvious things for me that some people don't seem to see, but I think it's because if you talk to a lot of coaches don't do it, so they haven't got that knowledge because it's just seeing it as rugby league rather than what it actually is. So for me, a big one is the contact stuff. You know, how many women have massive, strong, big shoulders like the guys? You know, they don't. You've got to work on that. I mean, they're built different. And the obvious one is what women have that men don't, that, you know, get in the way. It's all about your carry. You talk about carry and positioning of the ball and knock-ons and tackle and play the ball. They can get in the way. You know, I'm not going to state the obvious, but that, yeah, they get in the way, and it's like, it's recognising that, because it's ignorant not to, in my opinion. It's ignorant to just think they're the same though they're not. You know, a man works on his chest. You know, it'd be strong and chesty and he can hit you with it, and a woman's is different, and I think that's the best example of they are different people. Completely different, built different, and have got different attributes to add. And coaching from like a point of view of the mental side of it, they think different as well. You know, they say women multitask, and I think it's in rugby league. Like, I can give the girls something to do, you know, might quite complex, and they get it. They get it. But they'll ask questions and ask questions and ask questions. The lads will just go and do it, but they have a perceived perception of it. They're like a couple of things that are different. But for me, yes, we are different. We're known as two different, completely different things, but yet when it comes to sport, we tend to think that the women are playing a man's sport, but no, they're not. They're playing rugby league, and I think really refreshing when I heard Dennis Betts' interview months ago when he took on the job at Wigan, and I thought that is refreshing. He'll go a long way in coaching the game because he's approaching it as he's coaching women.
Because you can't just parachute a man in who doesn't have that knowledge, so to speak.
No, and I literally think, like, you know, and this isn't being any disrespect to a man or any coaches, it's like, if you haven't experienced it, are you just going in as a coach, coaching rugby league and seeing it as a men, you know, if you've coached men predominantly, am I just going in and coaching rugby league and you're seeing how you coach men? If I'd have done that approach, then I'd have stayed in my comfort zone, because I've got to say I've coached for 22 years, and you know, I started off my journey at Leeds Rhinos with like Ryan Hall and Luke Gale and players like that, and then at Wigan, you know, I had like Oliver Gildart, George Williams, John Bateman, and all those young men. If I'd have then, when I got asked to take the women in 2018, I was out of my comfort zone. I was like, wait there, I don't coach women. You know, I hadn't at the time, and I'll be honest, when he asked me, I was like, well, can I do this? So I straight away recognised that they're two different things, but a lot of people don't, because they just see it as it's rugby league, and you just play rugby league, men and women, you know, and you just play like this, you do this because they do it. And like I say, I just think it's a little bit refreshing, and probably most men within the game have coached men, because the men's game is where it is, and it's a lot bigger, isn't it? And I think it'll just grow more when we start to see what women bring different. Yeah, men bring something different, women bring something different to the game, and there's probably areas of the game that they're so much stronger, and if you're a good and open-minded enough coach to recognise that, you'll take it to a different level, and I think it's really important.
What are we expecting from Barrow this year then? Now I know kind of what's going on. What do we expect from Barrow this year?
Well, we've prepared well. We've been in since, you know, we got 6 weeks off, and then I was quite keen to get the girls back in, because I recognise, you know, that physicality is going to be a big thing for us this year. You know, I think bigger, faster, stronger in this competition. So we need to get a bit of a head start and start preparing the girls differently. And then also like the intensity. So, you know, you want this word intensity in training. What is it? What does it look like? How does it feel? And how do we manage it? And then I've done quite a lot of stuff around the mindset, because for me, you're going to go into a season where it's going to be tough, and there's going to be some tough games. We've got to be realistic here, and you've got to mentally prepare them. You can do all the skills and contact in the world, but if they don't mentally believe in themselves or recognise how to, deal with the controversy and everything else that goes with it, then they're going to struggle. So we've done a lot of work around that and putting them into them dark places and, them ugly places that you have to go through various training sessions and discussions and stuff like that. We've prepared the best we can. And like I always say, my philosophy is to be the best we can be. And for me, for Barrow, my goal this year is just to do exactly that. I think, we've just got to make sure that everyone's prepared. I've got to be honest and think, right, have we prepared them right? Are we ready to go? Which I think we are. I think, we're waiting now to go. We've got our first game this season, on this weekend, and we're ready for it now. And you don't know till you're about 3 games in to where you actually are, and then we'll obviously reassess then to see where we're at and fix things along the way. But it is exciting. It is exciting being in Super League. It's never been done before, but we've got over that sort of excitement side now because it's all good. These memories are brilliant and history's made, but we're on a journey and we've got to go out there and we've got to perform.
Is it about being competitive to whatever you feel is competitive? Because there are, obviously, when teams are paying players, it's a bit of a difference than when you're not.
Yeah, it is. That's a whole different discussion, isn't it? It is a whole different discussion for me. We have our own DNA within our group, which I don't want to go into too much. It's a personal thing that we have, and we set that standard by that, and we revert back to it when things aren't right. And I think that underpins what we're about. I talk about honesty, respect, commitment, hard work, and I think that's really, really important and key to it. And if you get that from your players, that's all you can ask. You can, no matter what you come up against, whether you go out and beat a team 50-0 or get beat 50-0, if that person's gone in and give it everything, and you've given them the tools to do everything. So, like I say, it's all about preparation. We brought in a new strength and conditioner this year. The guy that does the strength and conditioning for the guys is a PT man, and he's done our strength and conditioning. And I do believe we've accessed some different areas that we hadn't done before. And I've brought in a performance analysis guy, so we're doing a lot more work around that. They need to be tactically and technically better this year as well. So I think if I do an honest job, and that's why, like I've said, I've started my masters and stuff this year, I want to challenge myself so that I can keep up with my players and offer them something. And no matter what, if you've gone out and done that, then that's success in itself, isn't it? We played a friendly, which I don't like the word friendly, but we against Huddersfield, and I told the girls that I'm not interested in the score. It's all about each person going out and giving it the best, because you're fighting for that, being in that starting 17. And they come away and there's some disappointed players because we asked that question: did you give it your best? What do you think performed like? And they underperformed massively, some of them, and then some really overachieved. So I think we measure it by that. That's what Barrow's about. It's about being a good person, being honest and committed and giving it your best. And we do like to be known as, a tough team that don't go away really in attack and defence.